How's it going, creeps? Welcome back to Cinema Creep. My name is Drucifer, and this is Trailer Trash. Trailer Trash is a series on this channel where I dissect and review horror film trailers, and we have another huge one today. So I'm really stoked on this one, and it is shaping up to be a killer summer for horror, as well as a really awesome year for horror. So we're going to have a lot of fun, not just reviewing and watching and discussing horror on this channel, but us all going out to the theaters and seeing these amazing horror films, because we have a lot of remakes, reboots, sequels, as well as original horror films coming out. So I'm really excited about the horror that's coming out this year. And this week has been an incredibly busy week, not just getting the Alien Romulus trailer that dropped yesterday, but the Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, the sequel to Beetlejuice, dropped today. So we're talking about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, the sequel to this original Beetlejuice film, and it is so hard for me to believe that this came out 36 years ago. Now, Beetlejuice is one of those films that I've always held near and dear to my heart, because as a kid, it was a staple of my movie watching, as well as it's just one of those movies that you can show kids to sort of get them into the genre of horror, because it's sort of lighthearted in a bunch of ways, and it's not too gory, it's not too violent, even though Beetlejuice is kind of crude, but it is something that you can show kids and sort of help them take baby steps until they're ready to see the vile, disgusting, and downright terrifying horror that we all know and love. So Beetlejuice is just one of those films that just takes you back to childhood, and I really love it. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at some of the stuff that we know about Beetlejuice so far. So we're going to call this Beetlejuice 2, so I don't have to say Beetlejuice so many times. So Beetlejuice 2 2024. The artwork for the poster is really cool, so that is sort of like a callback to when Beetlejuice is sitting in the waiting room for death, sort of in purgatory. So you see his number and you can see where it says the wait is over, sort of like his number's up. I really like this artwork, and it is cool that it's a callback to the original film 36 years ago. The synopsis here is, this is a follow-up to the comedy Beetlejuice 1988, about a ghost who's recruited to help haunt a house. So it's a little vague in its synopsis, and I'm sure as the months go on and we get a new trailer, I'm sure that you'll see a better synopsis written, because I think Tim Burton is trying to keep it under wraps exactly what this movie's about. This is expected September 6th, 2024. So hopefully we can go see Alien Romulus in August, and then we can go see Beetlejuice in September, and then only time will tell what's going to come out the rest of the summer. So it is going to be a killer summer for horror. This is directed by none other than Tim Burton, and the funny thing is, for years after the original Beetlejuice came out in 1988, Tim Burton never wanted to make a sequel. Like, he didn't really have a passion for it. He's even gone on record to say he doesn't understand why the original Beetlejuice was so popular. And he's been on record saying that he had talks about doing a sequel, though, and just throwing out crazy ideas like Beetlejuice Goes West, or, you know, these other crazy Beetlejuice scenarios. But he said he never really had a burning passion to make it. Now, years later, him and Michael Keaton have sort of kept in contact, and I guess they have reignited the fire for this character. And since Michael Keaton's on board for coming back as Beetlejuice, Tim Burton has decided to come back and direct the film once more. So, and that takes me to the cast. So, of course, we have Michael Keaton reprising his role as Beetlejuice. We do have Jenna Ortega playing Astrid Dietz, who's going to be Lydia Dietz's daughter. We have William Dafoe, who they're trying to keep under wraps of who his character actually is. We have Monica Bellucci, who's Beetlejuice's wife, and Catherine O'Hara, who plays Mrs. Dietz, as well as Winona Ryder reprising her role as Lydia Dietz. Now, we don't have Jeffrey Jones coming back as Charles Dietz or Mr. Dietz, but you know, I think that is going to play into the main storyline of this film. So when we go over to entertainmentweekly.com, there is a little interview here with Tim Burton, and here's a few quotes. It says, "The sequel picks up decades later with a death in the family. That's all I will say," said Tim Burton. "There's something that happens that sets things in motion. Could that be the death of Lydia's father, Charles Dietz?" The director plays coy and he says, "We'll see," So one thing for sure, Beetlejuice comes back into play. So the thing about it is it seems like they guessed it in this interview that Charles Dietz is going to die, and then that's sort of what sets things in motion for Beetlejuice to come back. So if we look at a couple of these pictures, you can see some of the stills that have been released. You have Michael Keaton here looking great as Beetlejuice once more. And you can see the Beetlejuice green here in the studio. And then you have this shot here. You have Catherine O'Hara, Jenna Ortega, and you have Winona Ryder and Justin Theroux here, all in some funeral attire. So I assume this is where they're going to be at Mr. Dietz's funeral. But we'll see what happens. This is a killer photo, though. I really like this one, and I like the one up here of Michael Keaton in his Beetlejuice costume. So let's go ahead and let's get into the trailer. Let's watch this, and then we will come back and we'll analyze it and talk more about it.
Daylight come and we want to go. Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and we want to go. Me say day, me say day, me say day, me say day, me say day. Daylight come and we want to go.
The juice is loose.
Okay, so that sort of just, made me smile watching that trailer because it really brought me back to the funness of the original film and watching it as a kid. And just that tagline at the end that Beetlejuice says the juice is loose, and seeing the little miniature city. Like, I remember seeing that as a kid in the original film, and it was just so cool and so fun. And I think that this is going to be really, really fun to go watch. And it said that it was going to be in IMAX. So it is definitely something you're going to want to go see in theaters and see it in IMAX. So I think the trailer, let's go ahead and rate it and get that out of the way. I think the trailer is a 5 out of 5 creeps. And the reason I think that is because I think that it was short. I think it was a good teaser, didn't show too much. And I think that it sort of hinted at enough of what the film's going to be about without actually showing you. I think that it was put together really well, and it had a few of those callbacks, like the song, the Deo song that they sing in the original at the dinner table. I don't know the name of the actual song, but it has that song in there, and it has that choir singing it at the funeral, which I assume is the funeral of Charles Dietz. And you can see that Mrs. Dietz sort of looks like she is like she's been crying a little bit more so than the other characters. So that's what really makes me think that it's going to be the death of him. Like I said, Michael Keaton looks great. Jenna Ortega, she is shaping up to be a great horror actor, or like one of these actors of, our time and like the generation after me. It's like they're Corey Feldman. She is in all of these good movies and good shows like Wednesday. She's in Scream. She's in Beetlejuice. I know I forgot a couple, but she is in all of these fun movies in these horror films, and I think she is doing an excellent job. I really like that Winona Ryder has got her shit back together after she had those issues before Stranger Things, and Stranger Things sort of put her back on the right track. I'm glad she's back in this. I'm glad Catherine O'Hara is back in this. I'm really excited to see what William Dafoe is going to do in this because I'm a huge William Dafoe fan. So this film just looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It is something that you're going to be able to take your kids to. It's something that you're going to be able to take your parents to, whoever, take a date to, because everybody loves Beetlejuice. So let's go back through this trailer a little bit. There's a few things that I want to look at here. So Miss Shadow's School for Girls, so maybe that's where Jenna Ortega goes. If that's a callback, I don't recognize that. But let's see, because Jenna Ortega is going to be Winona Ryder's daughter in this film. So we have the funeral here. Like I said, you can tell that, Catherine O'Hara's character is crying a little more than the rest. It looks like you have the same house, so the same attic. Everything is covered up. The little town is covered up, and it looks like Jenna Ortega finds it, right? So she starts doing the same thing that Lydia did in the first film, right? She's probably going to start messing around with this town, and this is how Beetlejuice is going to come back to life, or, back to our world. So one thing that I'm really, really excited about is I read that Tim Burton said that he's going to go back to using stop motion animation for this instead of using like a lot of CGI and stuff. And that's going to make it just link a little bit better to the original film. Plus it'll just have that like authentic and nostalgic feel to it. So I'm really, really happy that somebody like Tim Burton is going back and overseeing this film, and not just directing it, but sort of just having his hands in a lot of the different areas of the film, like making those decisions that there's going to be stop motion and doing it his way and doing it the right way, which is going to pay respect and pay homage to the original. So really, really stoked on that. And I think that this right here is going to be absolutely a blast to go see. So let me know down in the comments, what did you think of the trailer? Are you excited for this film, and what would you rate it 0 to 5 creeps? I think it's going to be so much fun, and I think we're really, really lucky to have this, and Tim Burton and Michael Keaton didn't let this pass them by. So really, really stoked on it. So with that, all I want to do is I want to remind you guys that tonight at 8 p.m. we're going to be doing a live stream 100 subscriber giveaway celebration. I'm trying to find some short films that we can watch. We're going to talk horror news. We're going to talk about some of the things that came out this week, and maybe do a short horror film review if I can find a good short horror film to watch. I'm trying to reach out to some people to see if anybody has some stuff they want to send me that we can review on the live stream. If not, we'll just pick something on YouTube and we'll watch together and we will review it. But I'm also going to be giving away some prizes. So I'm going to be giving away some horror Funko Pops to subscribers that are in the chat just throughout the live stream. And like I said, the live stream starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll put the link down in the description. Go down there, turn on the notifications for it. That way you don't miss it. Other than that, that's all I've got for this one. As always, stay creepy, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.